Let me see. Let me mute this. Hey, BC Smith. How you doing, man? Yeah, dude. Thank you. First, apparently, Echo Instinct 2 has decided to. Is this like a Christmas thing, Echo Instinct? But she apparently has been running around Twitch, subscribing for people that are not yet subscribed, for people, for various people in chat and in shows, so, which is absolutely mind-blowingly awesome and exceptionally generous of you. That's so amazing. So yeah, I'm here. Let me turn down these lights a little bit. So I don't actually have lights. I have just these LED lights that I picked up at Walmart, and they just overwhelm my. Your attorneys are selling all your BTC. Your Bitcoin. Oh, hey, right on. Hey, awesome. That's great. I'm assuming BTC is Bitcoin, right? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of in the BTC thing that seems to suggest that, like, yeah, anyway, but yeah. Or is BTC stand for something else? I'm not really good with acronyms unless it's music related acronyms or yeah, that's about it. Yeah, maybe NHL, NBA. That's about it. NFL. I got those. Otherwise, I'm like, and maybe and a handful of government agencies, but right on, man. So yeah, so this is the very first. Hey, thank you so much, Echo Instinct. Yeah, that's very kind of you. So this is the very first show of this is the very first of a new idea that I had. Basically, and so I was supposed to have S.A. Bach. He was supposed to guest with me today, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. What actually happened was there was a scheduling issue. I entirely my fault. I thought we had scheduled for today, and he thought we had scheduled for, but we'd actually scheduled for yesterday, which I can't do anything on Saturdays because my voice needs to recover. So, and I hope you guys don't mind. There's going to be the sound of a dog chewing on. Oh, sorry, buddy. Oh, yeah. There's sorry. I think I ran over his tail. A dog chewing on a plastic bottle behind me. So. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, Echo Instinct. What a great time to get in. I mean, when did you buy in originally? I know that Trey Warren, who's my guest here on Tuesday nights, he bought $60 worth of Bitcoin in March of last year, March, and he sold and he took out $1,000. Oh yeah, I shouldn't even be saying this. But he didn't. I don't think I should be saying this because it's not. But I know. But he took out a ton of money, and I don't want to get. But like there was other stuff that was done, but I didn't want to. But a gigantic and like an order of magnitude. In fact, multiple orders of magnitude. 2 orders of magnitude. Is that right? Is it 10 times 10 or is it? Yeah. Anyway, hey Vic, how you doing, amigo? So S.A. Bach's not going to be here, but I figured that was okay because this is the very first episode, and I figured I guess it would make sense for me instead to kind of give you my perspectives on sort of like the creation process and the way that I create and the things that I create, and how I create them, and then how I take them from the initial idea, all the way to actual, to getting them to market. And the reason why I wanted to have this conversation is because there are lots of conversations with people that are, like I've run across a lot of creative podcasts and stuff like that. But the thing is like, and there's also like the shows like the the James that does the actor studio thing, and but for me again a lot of that often feels very precious to me, And the thing is just like, and I really want to get into like the meat and the marrow and the sinew and deal with the real like significant, like the thing is like there's no one can call bullshit on an artist like an artist can, right? And not necessarily call bullshit, but just talk about kind of drill right into the real like serious like and talk about the things like trying to create while also suffering through significant depression, trying to create while also facing insurmountable debt and bills and stuff like that. I bought 100K US dollars in Bitcoin when it was 11 cents. You bought $100,000 in Bitcoin. That is fucking wow. That is fucking wow. That is wow. That is, well, congratulations. Welcome to the, that is crazy, crazy awesome. Well, that's great. Echo Instinct. That's fucking absolutely awesome. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Hey, Justin, how you doing, man? So what I was thinking is I wanted to talk to you guys kind of about the format of the show and the way that the show is going to work, right? And good to see you, Paper Cat. How you doing, brother? The way that this whole the whole format of the show is going to probably evolve over the course of the next handful of months, right? But already the people that I already have on the schedule to guest are Lewis and Kelly from the Dollyrots. If you know the Dollyrots, if you don't know the Dollyrots, you should definitely go check them out. They're on Spot. You can find them on Spotify. They're an amazing band. They toured with the Warped Tour for like 10 years. They've toured with the Bowling for Soup and a bunch of other really amazing bands. If you know punk rock, if you like pop punk, these guys, you probably know the Dollyrots. They were on Lookout Records, which is they were label mates of the Green Day, and the MST3K, or not MST3K. I mean Mr. T Experience, MTX. So they're gonna be on Daniel Brummel from Ozma. He's gonna be on Benny Benjamin Chadwick from New Maximum Donkey. He's gonna be on. I've got S.A. Bach. He's gonna be on. I've also got Boone Graham's gonna be on the show. And then that's just musicians, right? And that's all. Those are the only people. Those are the only people that I have booked from music just right now. I also have JF Dubois, who's a novelist. He just hey, thank you so much, Echo Instinct. That's awesome. And hey, there you go, Vic. Now you have access to Claudia. So JF Dubois, who's a novelist who wrote. I've only read one of his books. I'm planning on reading the next one, or his first book soon. But A God in the Shed is a fucking amazing book. I've got another novelist I'm talking to. His name is Joe Clifford. He and I have been friends literally since we were both kind of starting out. And he's now has like I think 6 or 7 books out. Hey, Jen Plays, how you doing? Hey everybody, give the Jen Plays a follow. In fact, Echo, no, it's and you guys are 9 of 12, right? So the Jen Plays and 9 of 12, they do a show on Mondays called Geek Grills, and I'll be guesting on that tomorrow. So yeah, so that will be happening. Right, the start of my normal show usually starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. Instead, I'm going to be doing Geek Grills, and then we're going to switch I'm going to go straight from Geek Grills into my normal show. So, thank you, Paper Cat. Right on, man. And then what else was I so. So yeah, so the thing is, so I've got Joe Clifford. I'm gonna talk to my friend Dave Johnson, who's a comic book artist. If you know the comic book 100 Bullets, he did all the covers for the entire run of 100 Bullets. He's got a very he's one of the handful of comic book artists that have their own unique like a style that when people look at it, like if you know Mike Mignola, the guy that created Hellboy, like when you look at a Mike Mignola drawing, everybody will say, oh, that's Mike Mignola. The same thing will happen when you look at a Dave Johnson drawing. People look at Dave Johnson stuff, they go, oh, that's Dave Johnson. There's very few artists in the comic book world that have such a signature style that it's pronounced. It's its own, like even a layman that doesn't really know line work can look at it and be like, so these are all people that I'm going to be bringing onto the show over time. I also have a big thrust where I want to pull in Twitch music streamers that also write music and kind of get them involved in the conversation, because the idea is that this will be an evolutionary conversation, right? So the guests I will have back multiple times throughout the year, and we'll talk about the projects they're working on, so that we can actually we can kind of drill into those projects. We can start with like, hey, this is a project I'm about to complete, and then we'll meet up with them 6 months later, and we'll talk about, oh, now we got it to market, and this is what we've been doing, and this is how we've been promoting it. And others will be like, oh, I'm working on a brand new idea, and 6 months later, oh, here I am in the middle of working on this project, and a year later, now we're getting it to market. So it's gonna be a lot of that kind of like, So the idea is it's going to hopefully be like this like evolutionary conversation that will kind of give you guys a real clear and insightful, and again, real like meat and marrow and bone a perspective of like what, like the things that other people are doing to actually take their art and turn it into something that accesses the world, and it's not necessarily from a commodity perspective, even though there will be that conversation, but it will really be from the perspective of like, this is what I do, this is what I love to do, this is why I do it, this is how I do it, and then this is how I give it to the world, And so I was thinking, so again, the way that this whole thing is going to work for me is like basically, I was thinking that what we'd do, we'd start off with a conversation just kind of about, there you go, Justin. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is isn't it just a foregone conclusion, Justin? So Justin Brown just said, I'm going to have a real hard time not watching the Browns lose if Sundays push me towards the book everyone wants me to write. And, yeah, I mean, the thing is can't you just like put on any Browns game and watch them like, aren't they just kind of basically the same? I mean, I guess, isn't it like eating like your favorite dish of spaghetti your entire life? Like, it's like, sure, it's spaghetti. It's just meat and sauce, and noodles, but it's something that you've been enjoying for years and years now, right? I'm just being a dick. I'm sorry, man. So I was thinking that and again, so because this is a brand new show, I definitely want you guys. Hey, Echo Instinct, that's very kind of you, and there you go, Jen plays. That's a gift from Echo Instinct, who just basically it became a gazillionaire, and literally technically a gazillionaire. The word that was a joke is now actually in point of fact an actual word, because Echo Instinct is actually one. So, but so again, I'm gonna definitely need input from you guys in regards to like the kind of how you want this format to work. But this is what I was thinking is at the very beginning, right? At the very beginning of the show, there would be a discussion kind of about like, hey, who are you? What do you do? How'd you get to where you are? So first off, who are you? What are the thing is just like the tent poles that people know you by, And so for me, I'd be like, hey, I'm Mike TV. I'm in a band called Get Set Go. Most people across the planet know us because we've been licensed heavily by the show Grey's Anatomy. And that means that millions and millions of people have heard my music over and over and over again over the span of about 10 years. And actually that span continues on because Lifetime is now Lifetime is now rerunning those first 3 seasons, which is literally where Get Set Go is most heavily licensed, is in those first 3 seasons, and that seems to be all Lifetime just keeps rerunning. It's just the first 3 seasons. I'm like, are they doing this for me? Like Disney? Are you guys really doing this to help me out? Because I love you if you regardless. But yeah. So, hey, Suzanne, how you doing? I can't do the heart thing, but can I? That's kind of the hard thing. So, yeah. So the thing is, so let me just start off because this is going to be me kind of working at the template and working at the format. So the thing is, so I know a lot of you guys know this. This is all going to be redundant, but it's just kind of me kind of sorting out the framework, right? So, I put out so that's how most people know me, right? Most people associate the band. If anybody knows the band, if they know the band, which is not very common, even I mean, Grey's Anatomy. There's 100 million Grey's Anatomy fans on the planet Earth, and you know, and 1% of those people know Get Set Go. You know, and 1% of the people that know Get Set Go only know Get Set Go by the couple songs on the soundtrack. You know, and the only reason why is because those soundtracks have both gone gold, which means they've sold at least 500,000 units, which means that there's probably 1 million people that actively own the CD where they can see the name Get Set Go. They probably, even those people probably don't know the band. So it's like, so there's this really crazy, like this is crazy thing where people are like, oh, that's great. Like, that doesn't that give you fame and fortune and it's given me a subsistence living, which is awesome, and no fame at all, which is great, which is exactly what I want. I just want to make music, and survive. But the thing is, before Grey's Anatomy really kicked in, within the Los Angeles area, I was pretty well known. If you were an indie rocker, if you were in an indie band, and you really wanted to play a great space with good people, where there was a built-in audience, pretty much the only place you could go to early on in 1999, 2000, 2001. Was the venues I was booking. Mostly it was Mr. T's Bowl. Kaylin's surgery didn't go well. Many hours in the ER with virtually no relief. Poor kiddo is lying in bed with me, listening along. She's a writer too. Really? So, Justin, what happens next? What happens next? So for those of you that don't know, Justin's daughter Kaylin, and so Justin, who is one of my mods, he and his family have been fans of Get Set Go, my band, for many years. And Kaylin actually just seriously injured her foot, and she went into surgery. Was it a couple days ago? I think it was, or was it on Thursday of last week? And apparently the surgery did not go well. So if you're not aware of kind of the drama that's been happening on that side, it's not good. But hey, Kaylin, and good to see you. And I'm sorry about your foot. I hope that they can sort it out. So before Grey's Anatomy, before that, the thing is like within the LA area, even before Get Set Go, or it wasn't even Get Set Go. It was the proto Get Set Go band. It was a band called Vermicious K, which is at Willy Wonka and the Chocolate. Well, it's actually a Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator reference, which is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the book that the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was based on, and the sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a book called Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, and the Vermicious Canids are the primary antagonists in that book. And I and my bandmates way back in the day, we were like, oh, we want to have a cool name that's an obscure reference that only, geeks would get. And so I was like, hell yeah, man, that's great. So, awesome. Great. Awesome. Well, I hope it is. I hope it does good. I hope it does. Yeah, I hope it does you some good, Kaylin. So basically so there's our band Vermicious K. When we started, we basically in fact let me start with this and this is the kind of thing that I would like to unpack when I'm going to be interviewing people, when I'm talking to them, when we're having this conversation. The thing is like what I'm going to try to do. As somebody that's going to be interviewing people, is I'm going to be looking for the threads of like. There's one thing that I think unifies most people that produce a lot of material, and for me, really truthfully, like most artists that I know that actually manage to make a living at it, the thing is that they do it all the time, and I definitely think that's the difference between sort of like a working artist and someone, and I'm not using the sort of the dilettante perspective. I'm not using the word dilettante as a pejorative term. It's not an attack or a negative. But there are people that do. They're like poets that write a book of poetry once a year, right? So they write 30 or 40 poems, and they pull out, maybe half of those are good, and they put out a little chapbook, and that for them justifies them calling themselves a poet, and they certainly, by all means, they definitely are a poet, But the thing is certainly that poetry might be fucking world class and might trounce other poets that write, 5 or 6 poems a day and do that 365 days out of the year. But the thing is, there's definitely a different, there's definitely a different ethos, and so for me, the thing is the one thing that I think unifies me and most of my friends, is that despite, and most of the people I'll be bringing onto the stream, at least in terms of my personal relationships, the thing that I think unites all of us is that all of us have a prodigious work ethic, and it's not so much that we have prodigious work ethic because we just work real hard. It's because it's fun. It's because we love to do it. It's our passion, and we're excited about it, and we get up and we're like, yay, we get to go do what we in our heart of hearts want to do every single day of our lives. And the thing is, like, and it took me a while to realize that music was offering me that, because when I first started working in the creative world, I started off as a writer working for Universal, and so when I was 19 years old, I actually, when I was 18. Just as I was about to graduate high school, maybe it was in the spring, maybe I was 17, 18, but maybe it was before graduation. A producer by the name of Al Burton, who and he was the guy that was executive producer of, executive producer of Different Strokes, Facts of Life, Charles in Charge. If you were a kid in the 80s, basically everything that you watched religiously and were like, this is the greatest show ever, there's like a 50% chance that Al Burton executive produced it, right? So the thing is, like, and Al Burton, and of course I didn't know this, because I didn't know much about producers, as a kid. I knew the actors, I knew Gary Coleman, and I knew now I'm forgetting their names, but I knew the actors, But so Al Burton came to my high school and was doing a show called what do you call it? Al Burton was doing a show called American High School USA. And the American High School USA was supposed to be, I still think it's a great premise for a show, but I think the way that they went about it was a little bit flawed, right? But so what they did is they came to our high school, and they submitted a whole bunch of these not tests, but these questionnaires. And the questionnaires were stuff like, who's the funniest person in your class? And who's the most, who's the brainiest person in your class? And who do you think is the most athletic person in your class? And who's the most, yes, absolutely, Hondo Tadpole. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's like, well, it's funny. It's funny because the thing is, like, if you really think about the Dukes of Hazzard, with them like driving around with, I mean, there definitely was, I mean, and they're shirking the law. I mean, there are some arguments to be made that it was a pretty, like, it's a show that if you looked through the lens of this era, it's a pretty, like, there's a lot of lessons to be learned, right? I mean, the thing is that, like, I mean, no, but really, truthfully, man, like Boss Hogg, not ostensibly, like the in fact corrupt, lead, like, anyway, just, yeah, but we'll have to get into that. We'll have to get into maybe, well, shit, I have no time whatsoever, but like, I would love to do a show just kind of unpacking the shows of my youth, because the thing is because they had a profound effect on me. But so Al Burton comes to our school, and they hand out these questionnaires, and I got voted like most comedic, which is ridiculous. The thing is that, like, I was, yes, I'm funny. I'm not an uproariously funny person. I like being clever and I like being silly. And I definitely like I definitely like Monty Python style non sequitur humor. I just like being silly. For me, it's just fun to be crazy and nutty and silly now. So, and the thing is I think the thing that separated me from most of my classmates is I just gave no fucks. I just didn't care. So I was the guy that would go out and do. I would go out and do. I'll bet you Echo Instinct that they're probably going to have to review that order because it was so high, because it was such a large order. I'll bet you that it needs to get approved by somebody at Twitch before they put it through. Yeah. So the thing is, So what I was saying, so really, truthfully, so because I gave no fucks, the thing is I was willing to do just crazy, daring stuff, and I think that was the thing that separated me from, and I think that's what I think that, because the thing is, I was the guy that like. I was the guy. I was doing televised announcements on. We had televisions in our classes, which in 1988 to 1991 was like something that no one had. But we had not only do we have televisions, but we also they were all networked. So we actually had our own little television studio, and we would do morning announcements like we would do the news, like you do the news, right? And so I was one of the newscasters, and we would basically just have a whole list of things about like the goings on of that week or that day, and there's a game happening here, and so got this award, and so is doing this, and by the way, there's this announcement, this teacher's looking for this. And I would often interject totally silly, crazy stuff. My buddy Jason Keller and I, he and I we're just fucking lunatics, And so we would literally we would do stuff in crazy accents and we were just nuts, And so I think that was the thing that got me elected for the elected as the most comedic. So I go and I do this interview with Albert, and I'm my normal ridiculous silly self, and I'm like, yeah, great TV, right on. I already knew it was gonna amount to nothing. Like, oh, that's not so. I can't. I like to think that that's the way I was behaving. Probably not. I was probably starstruck. I was probably super thrilled. The thing is that that's kind of my perspective. That I came to that a much more jaded perspective very, very quickly, because at this point in time, I also wanted to be an actor. So. But the thing is, it's funny. So in fact, and so that's one thing. I think that's one thing that is super critical. If you want to do something creative, right? You're gonna suck when you first start out. You're just gonna be terrible, And you have to be. And the thing, even if you've always drawn and you've always drawn pretty okay during your I'm a little bit of a drawer. The moment you decide to take it seriously, and the moment you start going, all right, I want to do this to make a living at it. It's gonna suck. Like, you're gonna take it to people, and they're gonna be like, and if people are telling you, oh, that's great and that's amazing, it's because they're saying, oh yeah, you're not a professional, and that's great and that's amazing because you're not a professional. If you take it and you A/B it up against the professionals, something that's been doing for years, and I've been doing it kind of like on occasion. The thing is it's gonna be one of those things where they're gonna be like, oh, like, so the thing is, you have to be honest with yourself about like, okay, it takes practice to get good. Even if I've got a ton of talent, the thing is you have to do it, And the thing is, and you have to be comfortable sucking. You just have to be like, you know what? All right, this is me getting to that process. This is me. I'm going to start with this first drawing. I'm going to start with this first song. I'm going to start with this first page, and I'm just going to put down words. I'm going to start with this first poem. I'm going to start with this first sweater. I'm going to start with this, like, whatever it is. Whatever it is you're doing, you have to be like, okay, this first one's probably not going to be that great. So let me finish it. Let me do it. Let me finish it, and let me move on. And I think that's the one. I think the most. Now, I definitely know that there are people that do not do it this way. I know that there are people that have done it, do it professionally, and will freak out and sweat and get so myopic, and they'll grind on something and grind on something and grind on something until it's done. And that, for me, that's awesome. They're still constantly working on it. The thing is that for me, what it does is it slows your output, and it like, But the thing is, and I'll bring in friends of mine that do it that way as well. And that's for me, that for me is a much less fulfilling way to do it because you're not really seeing the progress. You're holding on to the idea of what you want, and that idea, that end destination, is the thing that's motivating you to continue to perfect something. For me, I prefer to have 100 imperfect things so that I can eventually get to the point where I get good at capturing the perfection. Even if it's flawed, it's got a little bit of magic in its imperfections, But the thing is, so I do this thing with Al Burton, and this production company comes to my high school. I get interviewed. I've been voted as the most comedic, and which is silly because the thing is there were demonstrably much more funny people, and much more witty and clever people. But the thing is, I just was the one that just gave no fucks, So I would, I was the most gregarious, Being extra gregarious does not necessarily make you the funniest, but unfortunately, high school kids are not that nuanced. But it was great for me because I did a little interview, and at the very end of the interview, Al Burton gave me a card and was like, "Hey, Mike, if ever you're in Los Angeles, give me a call." Now the thing is he gave every single kid. He probably interviewed maybe 20 different kids. Quorum, yeah. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So Al Burton gave maybe 20 kids. I mean, he interviewed maybe 15, 20 people, and he gave every single one of these people a card and said to them, whenever you're in Los Angeles, look me up. Now again, I think this is the difference between me and he gave one. My buddy Jason Keller was interviewed. I know he was maybe he wasn't interviewed, but maybe he asked for a card. But the thing is, but anyway, but I just knew I had a handful of friends that all got this business card. And what I did is I made a plan to be in Los Angeles. I never went to LA. I mean, I would go to LA to go record shopping, every 6 months, But I made a plan with my friends. We were going to go. I was like, let's go do a record shopping. Let's go do a record. Oh, no, I didn't even do that. I asked my mom to borrow her car. I drove out. I just drove out to LA, and I called Al Burton. I'm like, hey, I'm in LA for the day. I was wondering if I could stop by. So, and they said, yeah, absolutely. You can swing on by, come on over and check, and this is in 1991, right? So they go, all right. So yeah, come on by. So I go to the Universal lot. I tell them that I park in this like visitors parking lot, right near the tower. And, hey, right on. Hey, thank you so much, Suzanne. Yeah, I love you so much. And I'll talk to you soon. I'm certain. You be well. So I park in this lot, and now I park in the lot, and I go and basically it was called the 407 building. I don't know if it's still called the 407 building, but it was called the 407 building back then, and it was like the producers building. And so I walk into, and so he's got a Al Burton, like, so basically what it was is there was one door, and then you'd open it. So you go to these, like, you'd walk down the hallway in the 407 building, and there was like double sets of doors, two sets of doors, like all the way down this long hall. And if you opened up the door that opened, you could open up both of them, but like the main door that opened, it would open up, and it would be this long hall of offices, and there were basically 4 offices to every suite. And these 4 offices were basically like, there was the main office that was for like the main producer, and then there were other offices for like the sort of the sort of his people, And so I went in, and there's Al Burton, and I meet him, and yada yada yada, and I could literally keep unpacking these stories for hours and hours and hours. I'm not going to do that. So what that did is that began a relationship with me and Al Burton, and so I made a point of rolling out to Los Angeles. Echo, hey, Echo loves you. Thank you so much, Echo Instinct. Yeah, and the thing is, and I'm not, and me doing this, like, I'm not, and thank you so much though, but I'm not actively, like, which is why I don't have the what do you call it up, the donation thing up. I'm not like, this is, for me, I think it's like, I want to. This is. I kind of want to pull back when when I do this, when I've got guests on this in this show. I want to just kind of pull back the curtain and kind of show everybody kind of like this person's story, but also this is this person's like perspective on the projects they're working on, and this is how they start with the germinating seed idea, and like. So the thing is, so for me, it's going to be a little bit less than it's not something designed specifically to like generate money, But and give me one second. I need to keep. I need to stay hydrated, or my voice is not going to heal. So this relationship between Albertan and I continued for about 6 months, and one day I go in, like, and so I made a point of being in Los Angeles every couple months. Hey, I'm in town. Can I swing on by? And every single time, yeah, you should come on by, Mike. So they have me, they're having me, and so at this point in time, I really wanted to be an actor because I played. Paris in Romeo and Juliet. I fell in love with Shakespeare's writing, and I fell in love. I mean, and I'd always been a big reader, but I started writing poetry at that point in time, and it's like everything I did, like I kind of did it obsessively. So I was writing 3 to 5 poems a day, and was reading a lot of poetry, and was reading a lot of Shakespeare, and So the thing is, and they would have me read, but I was terrible. First I didn't like watch a lot of sitcoms, and I certainly didn't watch them with the perspective of like, how are they doing it, and how can I do this? Like, so I was terrible, and so they would have me read for these parts, and I would be terrible for them, and but they eventually said, hey, we're doing the show, we're doing this pilot called Gotcha, and would you be interested in being a part of it? We'll just use you as an extra, but you'll get a chance to see kind of like the way that everything works, and I was like, yeah, sure, of course, that'd be awesome. And while I was there, between takes, there was a whole bunch of kids there, a whole bunch of little kids, and they're running around like lunatics, and I am, and so I'm just kind of entertaining these kids because there's like 7 or 8 kids between the ages of like maybe like 7 and like 11, So I've got an umbrella, and Hook had just come out. Peter Pan, Steven Spielberg's Hook had just come out. So I had an umbrella, and I was using it like a hook, and I was just doing Dustin Hoffman, silliness and homages and as Hook, and ha 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 ha, that kind of stuff. And so eventually some guy walks over and joins me, and he and I start riffing off each other, and we start being silly, and these kids are like loving it. Well, it turns out that guy, the guy that came over and was riffing, was the actual president of Universal Cartoon Studios and Universal Family Entertainment, which was a division of Universal, which was their children's arm, right? So that guy, his name was Jeff Siegel, and that guy actually, 3 months later. Or maybe it wasn't even 3 months later. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'm trying to think about the timing. Anyway, the timing is a little bit screwy, but so Jeff ends up remembering me when they're looking for a college intern and says, hey, let's reach out to Albertan, see if we can't get the name of that one kid that was doing the show Gotcha, and let's see if he wants to be a college intern. So I get a call, hey, this is Lorna Bold from, there was this woman named Lorna who was Jeff's assistant, and Lorna called me and was like, hey, and she was from Wales, and she had a shit out of it, but Lorna called, and she was like, hey, and actually when I first heard her, I'm like, wow, she's an exceptionally distinguished woman, and Lorna called me, and she was like, hey, we got your name from Albertan. And Jeff, I don't know if you recall, but Jeff was the person that you were making being silly with on the set of Gotcha, and we were wondering if you'd be interested in coming in to interview for an college like an intern position. And so I was like, yeah, sure, all right. I mean, I had no idea what the fucking intern was. I was certainly not going to college, So I was like, all right, well, I mean, yeah, if you want me to, I'm not going to be a college. I mean, I'm not going to be a college intern because I'm not going to college. But so I went out to LA, and I go to Universal. Now I'm going back into the same building, but a different suite of offices. Jeff's was at the complete top of the building, at the complete end, and all the way at the extreme, like it was literally like I went from like I went from Darth Vader's office to now I'm going to see the Emperor Palpatine, so, and so I'm marching down and I open the thing and I go into Jeff's office, and Jeff's office is just, hey, that's awesome. Echo Instinct. Thank you. That's, yeah. So, and there you go. Corum, yeah, that's Echo Instinct. That's awesome. So, but I go into Jeff's office, and it's, and it's basically like just there's not like because Jeff was had before he went to Universal, he was the chief creative executive for Hanna-Barbera. He was one of the principal creators of Snorks. He worked on the Smurfs. He worked on He was one of the main guys behind GoBots. Basically all of the stuff, all of the Hanna-Barbera stuff that was coming out like at a point when I was a kid. He had a big hand in, So and he has all this paraphernalia and all of these souvenirs and maquettes and images and cells and all of this stuff from all. And so I show up and I walk in and I just immediately geek the fuck out. And I'm like, this is so and so from this and this, and this is so and so Jeff and I, like, we sat down and so as I'm doing this interview, we're just being like ridiculous. It was literally like, it was like two like minds meeting. It was an awesome, like almost religious experience for me, because it was like, and this is the first time that I actually really ever spent any time kind of like realizing that I had never, before this point in time, I'd never really thought of I never thought that it was possible for me, even though I was living in Southern California, even though I was only 2 hours away from Los Angeles, I never thought it was possible for me to enter the art world in a way that would in any way have any sort of impact ever at all, right? So I knew I was an actor, but the thing is, I thought I was going to just do community theater, I knew I liked to write poetry, but I thought, like I would just write a bunch of poems and give I was constantly making these big poem books with like 200 poems and giving them to friends, which is awesome because sometimes they come back to me. Sometimes 20 years later, people will be like, "Hey, Mike, you gave me this book like 20 years ago of all your poems. I just want to give it back to you, And they're embarrassing. Like reading those poems, they're no bueno. But a handful of them are pretty cool. But they definitely do, So but the thing is that was that. But even back then, and it's funny. I read when I was 16 years old. I read this article, and this article has been. This article has been the marching orders for my life ever since I read it, right? So when I was 16 years old, there was an article, I forget what magazine it was in, but they were saying, and it was talking about genius, talking about creative genius specifically. And they were saying that what separated Van Gogh and what separated Pablo Picasso, and what separated Shakespeare from their contemporaries. And the argument that they made, and I don't know how true this is, because the thing is I never went off and like vetted the article, but it made a lot of sense to me, was that most people that were lauded as being creative geniuses just worked. They outproduced all of their contemporaries, right? So if you assume that like say 1% of the art that you generate is of genius category, right? Is because everybody, if you do something long enough, like that's why you hear of somebody that's like that they've never really written a song, and oh my God, they wrote this amazing one-hit wonder and then never managed to do it again. That's because all of us, sometimes we capture lightning in a bottle, right? Sometimes, as long as you're doing it, sometimes ping, there's this. So it's like if 1% of your work, or if even a fraction of 1% of your work is genius, the thing is that what this article was saying was that these guys, because they were so prolific, because they did it so much, that genius, like that 1%, the amount of that 1% just increased. So they had not just one work, and they had not just a fraction, like they had 10 or 15 or 20 works that were considered revolutionary, and then everything else was elevated because of that, because it came from the same mind. So and again, I never vetted this article. I don't know if this is true. I'll bet you there's probably art historians of every caliber and every stripe that would probably say to me, Mike, that's ridiculous and that's nonsense. But the thing but it resonated with me, and I was like, that makes perfect sense, right? If 1% of the stuff I create is going to be amazing, I have to generate. If 1% of my and I was a poet at this point in time, right? So I was like, so if 1% of my poems are going to be amazing, I have to write 100 poems to get to one good one. So I was like, all right, let me get to work. And the thing is like, and what that did, and I know that sounds crazy, right? Like that sounds crazy. Like, why the fuck would you do that? But for me, the thing is, then it freed me up. I didn't have to, not all of my poems had to be amazing. I didn't have to worry about whether they were all going to be, knocked out. Like whether they were going to all be E.E. Cummings, whether they were all going to be all be Walt Whitman, or Pablo Neruda. No, I could write 99 that were completely shitty, as long as I had that one. So that totally freed me up to not worry about what I was doing. It allowed me to just go and fucking have fun with it, to just jump in and be like, oh, let's see what I can do, and let me write and that was. And that's what I'm leading up to, Justin, because that's exactly right. That perspective was radically transformed the way I looked at art, the way I looked at the world, and it's funny because at that point in time, me reading that article at 16 years old, it literally just created this, it narrowed my the lens through which I looked at the world, So it's really funny. So I wanted to be an actor at this point in time. And going through that audition process, because the thing is, because I took acting as seriously as I've taken any art form I've ever done, right? So the thing is, so for me to take on a role, Hondo Tadpole saying, I remember hearing of all the unfinished projects Michelangelo left behind. And that's exactly it, Hondo Tadpole. The thing, in fact, that's probably exactly right. The thing is that and that's a process. That's not the process by which I work, because I can complete my stuff all in one sitting. But if by the very nature of what I did, if I was like Michelangelo, if I was sculpting out of these giant blocks of marble, and if I was painting, the Sistine Chapel, and if I was, and if I had to do studies to figure out how I was going to make the Sistine Chapel work, the thing is I'm certain that I would have 150 or 200 or 1,000 different pots, pots on the stove all at the same time, pushing each of them forward a little bit. Hey, two guys, one couch. How you guys doing? Is that Matt, Corey, or both of you, or is it the couch? It's probably the couch again. Couch. We've had this conversation, haven't we, man? You're not allowed to become animate anymore. Not since that one experience with the oh, hey, Matt. How you doing, brother? I was gonna try to make a Beauty and the Beast reference, but I don't remember any of the pots and pans or any of the. No, it was Cuppy. No, what's the one? Anyway. So yeah, thank you, Paper Cat. Right on. Yeah. So for people in this audience right now, if you don't know Two Guys One Couch, you definitely should, and you should definitely give them a follow. So 9 times out of 10, well, very often it's just Matt by himself, but typically it's Matt and Corey. And they basically it's two guys. They do covers. They will actually do improv. Or do lyric swappings of covers that they do. They're fucking absolutely mind-blowingly funny and fun and charming and awesome. They've got great voices and they've got a huge swath of songs that they play. So I definitely, if you don't know them, I definitely suggest giving them a follow and checking them out the next time they play. Mike, I have to go to a barbecue place with my attorneys. Any advice? What kind of advice are you looking for? Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, seriously, man. Yeah, dude. Like you guys, it sucks that you guys live as far north as you do because it would be great. I would definitely love to hang out with you guys with a lot more frequency than every TwitchCon or you know, a couple times a year as you know as I know there's some more plans to get people together, but yeah, man, yeah, you guys are the real deal, like genuine sweethearts. Um. But so okay, where was I? So Matt, and in case I'm talking about I'm starting a new show up called Cars at Night, which is a reference. It's an El Doctoro reference. But hell yeah, dude. Yeah, man. And the thing is like Austin. Yeah, you guys would love Austin. You would fucking absolutely love Austin. Maybe we should maybe we should try to set up an Austin meetup just to get like because there's so many venues here. I'll bet you we could probably put together 2 or 3 Twitch shows here. Maybe I'll talk to everybody and see if I can't get because that would be fucking epic. Yeah. That's a little bit of a a detour, Justin. Yeah, and it really is particularly if you're into music. I mean, the thing is, if you're into live music. There's so many venues. It's like you can't go outside and close your eyes, take one step forward. You'll fall into a venue. You used to be a cop in Austin. Oh Jesus, really? Yeah, that would being a cop in any city, I'm certain will definitely color your impressions of that city, right? I mean, the thing is like you're effectively playing parent to the amount of and which does suck because the thing is that like, I have a couple of friends that are cops and we've had these kind of conversations like, about sort of like the stresses that entails. And I definitely get that, I can definitely see why I can definitely see why it'd be hard for you to want to come back. But I want to keep because I don't want to I want to try to keep these shows. So I'd like to keep these shows. So I'd like to keep the Cars at Night shows down to around 2 hours. If they go to 3 hours, if they go to 4 hours, that's fine. But the thing is like, but I'd like to because the thing is just because it's my only my weekends are pretty sacrosanct for me. It allows my voice some time to recover, but it's the only time I actually just in fact if you guys catch after this show I'm gonna put out a Patreon post. And I'm going to actually walk everybody through kind of like my work week and kind of like what I've been kind of up against and why, because I'm scaling back my work week by about, I'm scaling it back and it's still going to be 68 hours a week as my baseline. And hey, that's Echo Instinct. That's absolutely awesome of you. And, and there you go. Yeah. Echo Instinct has been gifting people subscriptions for the past hour, man. It's pretty fucking magical and pretty awesome. So where was I? Oh yeah, so at that point in time, so I read that article that basically turned me on to the idea of in order to increase the likelihood that you're going to generate as many amazing things in your lifetime as you possibly can, you need to do it all the time to increase the likelihood. So that basic sort of algebraic equation sort of like fused itself into my brain, and I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense. And that's literally the lens through which I've done everything ever since, right? So the thing is, So the reason why I walked away from acting was because I realized that in order for me to do it with the frequency, I would have to be doing it all the time. And yet, and the thing is, and so I would have, in order for me to do it and get to the point where I could have genius performances. But I couldn't do it by myself. I mean, I guess I could write a one-man show and then just go, start off doing little snippets of it and like stand up halls and open mics and then build an audience that way. Like the thing is like, that's the thing is like, I've never taken the front door approach to anything, because the front door approach, if you want to sell your songs to film and TV, don't try to sell them through somebody that's brokering songs. If you want to break into the film and TV, if you want to break into the movie business as an actor, don't just do auditions. The thing is, auditions might work if you just keep slogging through, but the thing is that there's so many other ways in which you can actually kind of bypass that. Like the thing is, don't try to go in through the front door. There's so many other avenues by which you can actually access the people that are the decision makers. You don't want to go through the gatekeepers. You want to go to the decision makers, And so the thing is like, so yeah, so even working in, I've always been creative. I've always been somebody that like, I just like making stuff. Whether it's creating a party of, a Dungeons and Dragons party to run myself through Dungeons and Dragon modules at the age of 7 or 9, or to me, writing like that. I think the very first time that I really started generating a lot of art that I could really claim as art, as me trying to conjure something out of the universe that did not exist before, from the perspective of being like, hey, this is me, and these are my thoughts, and this is my perspective on the world, and this is my heartbreak, and these are my joys, and this I think that really kind of kicked in. That was my junior year in high school. And that's when I started writing, kind of full tilt. But I didn't, again, like I said, I didn't think about it from a perspective of like, oh, I can do this professionally, or I can do this to make a living. I just did it, right? It's just what I did. It was just something I could do for fun, for me to understand. Really, I first started doing it so I could understand Shakespeare better, so I could understand my character Paris better. Like that was how I approached acting. I'm like, okay, well, this is a character. I don't really know this world, so I need to know the guy that wrote it, so I can understand the way he saw the world, so then I can understand why he would create this character and put it in there. Like absolutely, like I'm just nuts. Like the way my brain works is stupid. But the thing is I went when I first started working as an intern at Universal. I didn't have any drive to be a writer. I didn't have any interest. I mean, I was writing poetry, but I didn't have any interest in writing prose. I didn't have any interest in writing teleplays. I didn't have any interest in any of that stuff, right? And so I didn't have an aptitude for it. I hadn't spent years working on this stuff, and but I was a big reader. I did love the English language, and I did use it a lot. Hey, Last Bandit, man. How you doing, amigo? Good to see you, brother. Long time, man. You doing okay? So the thing is, so I was starting completely from scratch, and so Jeff, who was the president of the division, as an intern, I was just a filing guy, right? Like that's all I did. I just filed stuff. But they also, and this was I think one of the most amazing things about Jeff Siegel as my manager, as the president of my division, and as a good friend of mine, is like he literally like had he not been there at that point in time, it was a perfect confluence of moments that allowed me to become the person I was, because it's really funny, because what Jeff, so this is what Jeff said to me. So awesome, right on, brother, right on, man. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're doing good, man. And yeah, I'm glad you're here. So you seem to be the perfect candidate for brief ideas that could be stolen by Hollywood for their. Yeah, but it's funny, Justin. The thing is, and that did happen. That did happen all the time. And I didn't care, because I had so many ideas and perspectives and things, like it didn't matter. Like I'm like, fuck it. Like you can steal whatever you want from me. I will have 1,000 more. Fuck you, So but the thing is that like, but this was the thing. So and it wasn't just me. And it wasn't just me. Like that's the thing, is like that is any person that loves what they do, like any person that gets excited about like where it's not a job. And that's the thing, is that once it becomes a job, once you're kind of like once you're forced to go in there and you don't, like, the thing is that's when that fizz, the creative fire and starts to diminish, and it never goes away. There's always a little burning flame that kind of it can keep your pots boiling, but it's not gonna nuke cities, and And the thing it exists inside everybody. And I think that's the thing that for me, I most want to, by doing this show, Cars at Night. The thing I want to do most is inspire you guys to realize that creative fire, that excitement, that excitement to be alive and to be doing things that are important and that matter and bring to you a sense of purpose and a sense of joy and a sense of awesome every day of your life is entirely possible. And the thing is, and you have to find it though. And the thing is, and that, which means you have to always be looking. And so the thing is, and it's funny. And so let me go back to the very beginning. So I did this internship, right? And I was just filing. But Jeff Siegel, and Jeff, who's my boss, so I was mostly filing for Lorna. I was mostly her intern. Mike, not to get too real here, but I know how you made it this far. Life kind of sucks. Yeah, no, yeah, it does. It doesn't, and it shouldn't. And that's the thing that drives me nuts. It shouldn't suck. If all of us, if every single one of us, just when someone was struggling, if someone said, "Hey, I need some help," got the help when they needed it, and if every person that said when they said, "I need help," and because when you first start asking for help, you're a kid, you're honest, you haven't been taught to lie to get the things that you need. So if every single time someone said, "I need help," there was somebody there. If we all looked out and we all just kind of had one part of our active brains just kind of looking out for people that said, "Hey, I need help," and we were like, "Hey, man, I can help you up," and we all just kind of, this life would not be that hard. The thing is it's just at some point in time, people started saying, "Hey, let's turn off let's turn off that antenna that allows us to recognize that people are asking for help," And the thing is, and that's sad because because life should not be this hard. It really should not, and it could be. And it could be such an easier, like with a very little minor shift in the way that we dealt with the world, this whole place could be so much more exciting, Yeah, and that's yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, and Vic, yeah, and the thing is so yeah, but I don't want to get derailed but we should definitely unpack that at some point in time, Vic. So in a future Mike TV live stream we'll have to talk about that. But so hold that story for when next, when I can be a little bit more easily derailed, Shrugniv, how you doing, man? Dude, man, you've been on my thoughts all the time, dude. I hope you're doing better. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are, yeah, dude. I hope today is awesome for you. And how you doing? But all right, so let me go back. Let me go back to the takeaway. So the thing is, I didn't Jeff, the one thing that he did was he gave me access to everything. He's like, "Mike, so you're working with our files. If there's anything you want to read, if there's anything you want to go through, like totally do it. Like if you want to read contract, if you want to read a show Bible, if you want to read some teleplays, like okay, if you want to do anything, just you have access to our files, So I don't know if he said contracts. But it was like all I think he gave me access to all of the creative stuff. So I did that. So whenever there was any moment between what Lorna had assigned for me, whenever I had any downtime, I would pull out a show Bible. Now, if you guys know what show Bible is the document upon which it's the document they use to sell a show, right? So it basically says this. It's like here's the description of what the show is going to be like, and here's the world in which the show takes place, and these are the characters in this world, and these are some of the stories that are going to happen in this world, and this is the science behind the world if it's a science fiction thing, and this is the rules of reality if it's a fantasy thing, like. But it's basically the document that is the go-to document that you kind of keep tapping back into to kind of like mine for ideas as you push the show forward, right? And so I would read these show Bibles and I'd read the teleplays and I would read this. And the thing is like, and there was a show that they had just started working on that was called Exo Squad. If you know Exo Squad, it's a mind-blowingly it's an incredible show considering that it came out of the United States at a point in time at the same time. Like it predated Batman, the Batman series by a couple years. So, or maybe a year, so the thing is it was adult storytelling. It was adult storytelling that definitely was written for adults. It also worked. Like it didn't pull any punches. People died in it. It was an action adventure. It was a complex story. There were tons of characters. It was an amazing show. And this was in development when I first started working there. So I read that show Bible. And there was a bunch of stuff, and it was a science fiction show, and I was a big science fiction fan, and I was also a big cyberpunk fan. I was a fan of William Gibson and Bruce Sterling and Neil Stephenson, who there were a bunch of other authors. I can't recall them right now, but there were a ton of authors back then that I used to know, and I was on top of, and so I was reading this, and I was also a big anime fan, and I was also a big giant robot fan. And this had a little bit of, they had the Exo Squad was these people who would climb into these things called exosuits, and they were called exoframe. At this point in time, they were called exoframes. They climb into the exoframe, and wait, what's going on? Why is it a rough Christmas, Echo Instinct? Hold on. Yeah, Justin planning to get married in 3 weeks, and so walks out and says, "Fuck you." Wait, what? Oh. Oh yeah. You know what? Echo. Yeah. I. Okay. Well. Let's talk about that. Hold those thoughts, because the thing is, I definitely do like. I too, having come out of a 3-year relationship where I was my very first time being engaged to be married. I definitely do have some thoughts on that as well. But I want to kind of stay on point, because the only reason why is because I also when I actually do have a guest with us, I also want to like kind of keep things on topic, But I'm so sorry to hear that, Echo Instinct, and but. We'll talk about that. If you're going to be around, if you're not, then we'll talk about when next you come in. Just remind me, because the thing is that like, because I too got into a point where I'm like, I'm just not going to date. I'm just done. Like I'll focus on my work, and I'm not. But the thing is that like, anyway, so I'm like 8 or 9 months ahead of you. No, I'm actually 11 months ahead of you right now. But so I can give you an 11 months advanced perspective on kind of what you're going through right now, because I was literally right exactly where you're at almost a year ago. So Jeff gave me access to all of these documents, and I got a chance to read them and dive into them, and I saw things that for me, I would have changed. So I got out a notebook and I just started taking notes. I'd change this and I would do this, and this is the way I did, and I started just coming up like I don't know why I did this. I felt I loved the idea, the show idea, and I thought it could be better. And so I just started like taking notes on how I thought I could make it better, and how I thought it, or not how I thought I could make it better, how I thought it could be better, right? And so eventually I had a pretty sizable notebook of all sorts of. I mean, I was even doing sketches, like you could have this kind of stuff and this kind of so. And I'm, hey, thank you, Paper Cat, right on, man. And so hey Mars, right on. Hey, how you doing? Hello Raiders. How you guys? How you doing, Mars? That's awesome. Yeah, and so Mars, this is a very different show than my normal show. Today it's just a conversation. Like I normally I would have a Ray
kills bugs dead.
Normally I would have a normally like I play music and then on this show my plan is to have guests, so we're kind of having a conversation between us, but my guest dropped out today, and I still hadn't yet launched the show, so I decided I would just launch it and kind of talk about kind of my own experiences, as someone that has been making stuff for a living since he was 19 years old, And I'm excellent. I'm really, really, I'm excellent. I'll have to tell you guys about the health issues because finally, they've been addressed. Not 100% completely, but so much better. So that's awesome. But okay, well, yeah, all right, Echo Instinct, yeah, go, yeah, well, good, well, the thing is, yeah, so yeah, life gives and life takes away, right? You know, there you go. It's, you know, it's like, what can you do? I mean, yeah, what can you do? You know, it just fucking sucks, but also in that instance, also good, you know, but so yeah. So what was I talking about? So suddenly I find myself, I'm now 19 years old. I'm working at Universal Cartoon Studios on the Universal lot. I have complete access to the president of the division's entire creative files. I'm taking notes on a new development they're working on. And so Jeff, so basically what happened was, I get that. I get that Echo Instinct. And, you know, and the thing is like, and, you know, I mean, the thing is that like, I wish there were things I could say that like, the thing is like I know the chief and easiest way to find love for me is to just love people around me. Right. The thing is that like, be loving to my, like, I don't know. Like the thing is that like, yeah, I mean, the thing is that like, you know, like even when I, you know, like, and also put yourself in service of other people in some capacity, because that usually allows you to get out and meet people. So whether it's volunteering at something or building a rock and roll scene, what I did for 8 years, I just built a rock and roll scene and would spend 30 hours booking it and putting it together and promoting the shows and yada yada yada, and that allowed me to meet hundreds and hundreds of amazing people, and I eventually found someone that I fell in love with, and we were together for 7 years. So the thing is that that's another suggestion I can make is that if you put yourself in service of people, like if you love people, if you love ferociously and honestly, and you put yourself in service of people, the thing is that usually like that usually puts you in contact with other people doing the same thing, right? So you find people that are usually also able to empathize and able to be compassionate and able to, like, you know, so how and whatever, like literally like there's a million different ways you can put yourself in service. It's not just volunteering. Like there's but the thing is, yeah, but that's I've found that's usually the way I find the best people, you know. But anyway, but there we go. So going back to the you know, so I started taking notes. So that was the thing is like, so for me, and I think that's another takeaway. I think that's another thing I could offer you guys is like, so if you find stuff that you're into, right? The thing is try to find a way to get yourself involved with that, right? So if you go, so even if you feel like you don't know what your passion is, right? You don't know what your passion is right now. And you're struggling. You don't know where you want to. You don't know where. Like you want to do something that it allows you to express yourself and be a part of something that gives you a sense of purpose and gives you a sense of meaning and makes life thrilling and exciting and wonderful for you, right? And you don't, and you haven't found that yet. The thing is that go out and find the things that excite you. Go find the things that turn you on, and it could be fucking stamps, you know, like whatever it is. Once you find that thing, then then try to identify what it is about that thing that really turns you on, right? And so if it's so, I mean, here, so let's, because this is a conversation I have with lots of people, that I've had with lots of people over 20 years of me doing what I've been doing, you know, because me making a living as a creative person for 20 years, first working in film and TV and then switching to music. You know, like the thing is that like it's, you know, like which is a radical shift in career paths. You know, after working in film and TV for 11 or 12 years, to like suddenly just do music full time. Like that was a radical career shift. You know, and there certainly are, and certainly I'm not like one of those like super talented people that like, I'm not one of those Renaissance people that does everything exceptionally well. Those people, I hate them because they make everything look easy. I know there's a ferocious amount of and I'm not. I love Philately is fucking awesome, Shregnif. That's why I was saying it, because I know I have friends, or I've had friends. I know they're now acquaintances. They've kind of gone from they went from relatively close friends to then friends to now like acquaintances I see once every decade and a half. But I saw the passion they fell in love with stamps, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like me looking at stamps through their eyes made it all the more exciting, you know. But the thing is that like, and so I got derailed. What was I wish I could rewind and like listen to my audio and rewind and be like, oh yeah, I was talking about this. Justin, but so the thing is, so you find the thing that you find things that turn you on. You find things that excite you. You find things that really get your engine running, right? And then you try to identify, because it's not going to be all like if you really love yeah, there you go, Hondo. Oh yeah, and are you a Philotelis, Shregnif? That's awesome, man. So yeah, that's great. The thing is, I'm serious. Yeah, I had an old buddy and his girlfriend, and he literally, because he was so passionate about it. And the thing is, and he loved, like for him, he loved the art, and he loved that there were all of these different countries that were putting out it was like this stamp from and this was conversations I had 20 years ago, so I don't remember, but he was like, I mean, think about this. So think about stamps and like stamp collectors. But then if you think about it, if you really give it just a little moment of shrift, right? So this country decided to put a stamp together, right? And they, so on this little image, they decided this is going to represent either the country, or this is going to represent an idea that's important to us, or this is going to represent, and then they only have something this big upon which to imprint that whole message, right? And he's like, and so the thing is like, and so he fell in love with the idea that these were like little miniature, and so anyway, so he was a huge fan of it, and so he had a girlfriend, and he eventually like turned her onto it, and she eventually started finding stamps that resonated with her, you know, and then it was like, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome, you know. I really, now that is great. I'm gonna have to go reach out to them again and be like, yeah, you guys totally like came up in conversation. But yeah, it's awesome. Well, that's great, Shrignif. That's awesome. Yeah, that's super awesome. Yeah, and I have utmost respect for Philotelis. So I am pronouncing that right. I think I am. Philotelia. I think that's what it's called. But the thing is, so yeah, so when you find so the thing is, but again, so that's exactly it. So for him, he loved the art of the stamp. It wasn't where it had been, even though apparently that's something that people like. It's like people will like to collect the stamp and then also kind of like track like where it's been. I don't remember, like, but the thing is like you're gonna have to find, like, once you go, this really turns me on. You need to then drill into like people. Some people are like, I really love movies, you know. But the thing is like, all right, well, like, what do you like? What do you love every single movie? Probably no. If you really do love every single movie, like, all right, well then, what about the movie going experience? Does it really turn you on? And you know, like, and there's gonna be myriad reasons. Like, it just allows me to get out of my shitty life for a couple hours every single day, you know, like. But sometimes it's I really like the story, or I really like the special effects, or I really like these kinds of stories in particular, you know. And once you start drilling down and finding the attributes of the thing that you really love, then the thing is that, like, if you want to build that into your life in a way that gives you a much more rich understanding of it, or maybe even allows you to contribute. See, not everybody's put on this earth to make new things, right? There are often people that are there to help shepherd other people, to go, hey, if you like, I love this thing so much that I want to go find other people that I think will also love it and turn them onto it. And that's equally as important a part of the mix and there are other people that are like, I love this thing so much. I want to find ways to take it, to help these people that don't know how to take that thing and make money out of it. I want to help them make money out of it. And that's a whole other, like, there's going to be, but the thing is that like, but the moment you find the things that you love to do, and that can be anything. It could literally, I mean, the thing is like, I am certain that they're like, like, I mean, yeah. But the thing is that for me, I'm almost 100% certain that 99.9% of people don't love just punching keys, doing data entry or ringing people up at a Walmart, but I'm certain there are people. I'm certain there are people that absolutely love that gig, and I'm certain I can come up with right off the top of my head, I could probably come up with a handful of different perspectives that would allow that. But the thing is, but if that's the case, if they found that thing that they love, then awesome, right on, good for you, man. Like, that's fucking great. But if you're doing something that you don't love, and if the way you're doing it is a way that you don't love to do it, then at least you can't just jettison. I did that when I decided that film and TV was no longer working for me. I said, fuck it, I'm just going to do music full time. And it was 2 years of sheer hell. I mean, I was writing music all the time and I was making music all the time, but I had very, very little to no money because I could barely pay my bills. I was pulling in a little bit of money because now I was booking at Mr. T's Bowl and I was generating a little bit of revenue. But that was just enough to barely pay my bills, and that was the only money I had coming in. So so I would eat one Del Taco red burrito a day. I don't recommend it. Now, it's totally possible. You can totally do it. Newt Hampson did it for his first book, and what he went through is demonstrably worse than what I did. But his first book's called Hunger, and it's literally about him starving to death because he wants to just be a writer. I don't recommend doing that. You can definitely find a way to segue nicely from one thing to another. I was 30. Well, I was 31 when I worked my last film and TV gig, Hondo. So I started at 19, and I went till 31. I started making music kind of at 20. I really started taking the guitar seriously at 26. That's when I first started writing my own songs. And then we didn't get a record deal until 29. But I was playing. So when I was 27, we started Mr. T's Bowl. No. Yeah. I agree, Mike TV. I used to be a drumming teacher. Well, let me. So the thing is, like, so I had an accelerated growth period because I was playing every single week at Mr. T's Bowl. So in order for us to generate enough, so I stepped up my already pretty prodigious output. Because I wanted to make sure that our shows were not boring. We weren't just playing the same 7 or 8 songs. And so I just started writing like a maniac. And so we were playing every single week, 52. So we were playing 52 shows a year. And we did that for a couple of years before we got our first record deal at 29. So the thing is, like, and then we got our first record deal at 29, but I was still working in film and TV because I wasn't really making a lot of money from music. And then right around, so I think I took my last gig, my last film and TV gig when I was 32. So if that answers that question, Hondo. And then let me see. So Life of Mars, I agree, Mike TV Live. I used to be a drumming teacher, but missed being creative and decided to quit the teaching. Everybody told me I was crazy, that I quit my job for just playing music, but I did, and now I'm a full-time musician for 8 years already. People should not be scared. You just have to work hard, I think. Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. So the thing is, like, there's always sort of a free fall period. Now, during that free fall period, when you step out, when you step out and you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it full tilt. It's going to be now. So you can work a 40-hour work week, right? You can go to an office job and do an office job, and then find something that is your passion, and you can devote 10 hours a week to it on the weekends or something. 5 hours on Saturday and 5 hours on Sunday, and you can get proficient enough to actually be able to be like, I think I could do this for a career. You could find enough. Like, the thing is like just doing something, even that a minimal amount of time is still something that could allow you to actually get to a point where people are like, that's fucking awesome, because it just requires consistency. But once you decide to make the switch, once you're at that point, no matter how much success you might have, even if let's say for instance, like this happened with some friends of mine, they were a band called Ozma, and I don't really know the circumstances of their life, right? The thing is that like, but Weezer fell in love with their band. They have a very Weezery sound, and Weezer invited them to open up for them, after for one of their tours. So my friends in the band Ozma, they opened up for Weezer as they toured the country, and that gained them a gigantic amount of acclaim, and that was awesome. But then they had to go back to like, okay, so the thing is, so that was like the thing is like, but then again, there's a free fall period as they are like, okay, now what do we do? And the thing is like, and working as a creative person, there's always going to be moments of free fall. There's always going to be moments of fuck, but the thing is and I've now, and because I've now spent 17 years as a professional musician. So we got a record deal on 29. So that technically made me so 20. Okay, so here, what's 44 minus 29? Why can't I do this math? I can do the addition, but not the. So yeah, so 15 years of me working as a professional musician. No, because this is oh yeah. Yeah. So 15 years of me working as a professional musician. And I can't, and I think every single year there's been moments of free fall for me. There's been moments of like, is this going to ruin my career? Is this going to ruin my finances? Is this going to, the thing is like, and the thing is and what you do, is you just have to stick to your guns, and you have to be like, all right, because the thing is, because really truthfully, it always does work out as long as you don't lose your head, as long as you keep your cool. And the thing is like, I mean, I guess that's life, right? The thing is life, that's all life. We're constantly finding ourselves in moments of free fall where there's uncertainty but the thing is it's certainly a lot more pronounced when you are doing something that you love. Because the thing is because what your first impulse is to do is to take the skills that you've learned doing the thing that you've loved and go find, like Mars did, go find a job that pays you to use those skills. But the thing is that's a job. And if you're doing something creative, particularly if you're doing something creative, it can never be a job. The moment it's a job is the moment that that like I was saying, that fizz, that fire, that spark starts to die. Now the flame does not go away. There will still always be a little flame, and you can boil your pots on it. But the moment it starts becoming a job is the moment you lose the excitement and the electricity and the sparkle and the fizz that allows you to go off and just carve new and amazing. So the thing is like, so you have to always make sure that there's always some level of excitement, some level of joyfulness, some level of playfulness, some level of like, and the moment something starts feeling like a job, the moment the thing that you do, the thing that you love to do, the moment you start going like, oh shit, do I want to do this? You need to start making some course correcting, because the thing is like, and hold on. And I definitely might have some people here. I might have some guests in future weeks that will say otherwise. And that will be awesome, because I don't know anybody like that. I don't know of anybody that does mind-blowingly, like, things that I think are amazing, that doesn't have some sense of like, no, I got to keep it fun. Like I got to keep, like, I can never treat it like a job. Like, and I've had this conversation with a lot of my friends that are people that have like significant output in terms of what they do. So, but well, that was well. All right. So the thing is, like, so I didn't even. So the thing is, so I'm gonna. I think I can go for maybe another half an hour, guys. But I definitely want to keep my voice in shape. But the thing is, but so the tenor of this conversation is basically the tenor of the conversation that and that's and it's funny, Paper Cat. The thing is like, yeah, you like that's and oh, hey, right on. Wait, are you back? Oh, you're back, baby. Okay, yeah. Hey, welcome back, Echo Instinct. Everything working out well. And Paper Cat. The thing is like, it's funny, and I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about this, because why is it that money for me is such an anathema, and why is it that why am I so resistant to trading money for, to trading money or to trading on money for the art that I make. And I realize because it's like, and again, this is still an idea that's kind of formulating for me. So I'm over the next coming months, I'm certain that my perspective is going to become more crystalline. But the thing is it so because money is sort of like money was at way back in the day, right? Money was sort of like used as an intermediary between brokering things, right? It was like from bartering perspective, right? So I need to eat, I'm a guy that cuts down trees, and you're a person that makes bread. If you want, I can give you some of my logs, and you can give me some of your bread, and we're, oh, right on, Shregneff, you be well, man. Yeah, you be well, brother. And so, and the thing is at some point in time, the idea that like, hey, you know what, maybe rather than this guy with the logs getting together, like getting together directly with this guy for that transaction to happen, let's come up with something that sort of represents everybody's efforts, right? So this guy does this, and this guy does this, and this girl does this, and this girl does that, and now we've got something that kind of represents all of our efforts, and that's what it used to be way back in the day, right? But from that, I guarantee you, from that moment, the thing is that there were definitely people like conspiring, like, how do I leverage this? How do I take this idea of what is effectively the hours of our life, right? Money should be a measure of our life's value, right? Every hour of our life, and I think that's the thing and that's why it galls me so much because that's the way we all treat it, right? The thing is that like, that's why somebody like, yeah, you don't have any training, but you can go and pick a fruit, which is even that is ridiculous. The thing is like, because there are lots of like fruit picking is in and of itself, it's its own skill set, and you need to know how to do it, And the thing is and really good fruit pickers can do it dramatically better than someone that's never done it before. And so fuck you, fuck you that it's an unskilled thing. Like everything, any human endeavor requires skill. But the thing is like so, but the thing is like so you do something that we look at as being unskilled, and you've got something that you do something that we consider as unskilled. So your hours, the hours of your life, the value of your whole life is dramatically less valuable than this guy, because he's managed to convince people that he's worth $1 million an hour or plus, And the thing is that like, and that whole like, and that's, at least for me, that's the visceral gut level instinct of the way money values, like the corrosive effect of money, right? Because the thing is, because what it's doing is it's saying to us that there's different levels of value of people, and that's the biggest sense, like, sort of horseshit I've ever encountered in my entire fucking life, And the thing is, and so I've tried to remove myself from the things that I do. I recognize it. I recognize it's necessary for me to live. Unfortunately, like I can't. If I could write a song for my rent every month. If I could write a song for my rent every month, I would fucking do that in a heartbeat. And the thing is like, and I guarantee you that the song that they got once a month from me would be dramatically more valuable than any of the money I gave them, because the only place they could get an original Mike TV song would be from me alone. So the thing is like, so it's like fucking gold. It's probably like fucking an unyet discovered element, of which there's a like significant scarcity. And the thing is that like, and that's and again, Paper Cat. Like the thing is that like, is like for me, like that's, well, actually no. I mean, the thing is like, no, yes. I mean, I see. I'm not like looking to get into the actual mechanics of economics. Like I definitely do see like it's as good a system as we can come up with, considering that we're literally great apes that are just 100,000 years out of the trees. The thing is that like, so we certainly have a lot more growing to do. I mean, the thing is that like, I mean, I love the fact that things are like ideas are being bandied about, like universal, like basic universal income, stuff like that. Because the thing is like, because again, the idea is that like, well, anyway, I know, but talking about my art, so I realized that I don't want to value it in those terms, because once I value it in those terms, it means that I'm giving them the ability to place value on my shit, and fuck that. The music I make has value. There's two units of value. There's two measurements by which I think the music has value. Right? One is my opinion, and the other is your opinion, and that's it. Now you can let your friends influence my value, the value of my music in your eyes, because they can be like, "Isn't this a great song?" And you can be like, "Hell yeah, it is." But the thing is like, but that's the only exchange. That's the only two entities I want involved in that exchange at all, right? I don't want some fucking shitheel sitting in some fucking office on Wall Street having any influence over the value of my music between me and the listener. So the thing is like, so because of that, the thing is I find it very difficult for me to think about my music from a financial perspective, or even commoditize it in any way, because it rankles. It just rankles because it's getting in the way of, for my estimation, the most basic economic, not even economic exchange, but like a basic exchange, which is effectively value, right? So here's my song. Now, if it has no value to you, all right, well, that's fine. Because you're not the kind of person that my song was written for. But if it does have value to you, even if it's a small amount of value, then that's then that's all I want. I don't want someone else with the ability to say like, oh, that has no value. Fuck you, person that doesn't like. You don't get a voice in this, unless you're friends with the person. Like if you want to shit on my music because you got a good friend and you're like, hey, good friend, I hate Mike's music. Sure, that's fine. I hope they are able to hear my stuff outside of that. But the thing is but even so, like all right, that's fine. That's friends. We have that sway over each other. That's part of friendship, But everything else, fuck it, A big problem is that the economy wants to grow. That's not possible anymore, I think. Not with, that's definitely the idea is that that things are just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's like until you like that's again, that's because we're great apes, just 100,000 years out of the trees. And we like scoring things, we like getting high score, and we like feeling like we've been doing better than we like. The thing is, anyway, it's just, I think the whole, I recognize it. It's a necessary evil. I just think the whole thing, at least for the way I approach the world, is just flawed, and it drives me nuts, So we have literally, we've intertwined so many different things. So I'm gonna go back to the thing that kind of got this whole conversation rolling was the idea that the main thrust of this show is gonna be, and I hope even this episode is that it's effectively going to show you these are people that live their passion. This is how they found their passion. This is what turned them on about it. This is what they did to pursue it. In fact, I'll give you a little bit more time. I'll give you guys a little bit more time regarding kind of like so music is now it's crazy, because there is some alternate universe where there is a Michael Torres, not Mike TV, but a Michael Torres that is off making film and TV and doing very, very well. Because I had an aptitude for it. And I was really good at people management, and I was really good at kind of putting out fires, and I was really good at when this person's really crazy angry over this this one issue, and this person's crazy angry over a different issue, and they're just butting heads. I was really good at being able to get in and be like, no, hold on, let's look at this from everybody's perspectives. Let's come to an accord and let's move on. I was good with that kind of stuff. But thank God that did not happen in this universe, because I know with every fiber of my being, every atom, every molecule, every fucking every what are they called? Magic. What are those things like every quark? Every quark of me is that I'm here to write songs. I'm here to make music. I'm here to document my life in song. And Echo Instinct. No, don't. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah. I mean, no. The thing is, yeah. I mean, yeah. So. Hold that thought. We're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna wrap this whole thing up, and then we're gonna continue the show for a little bit. We'll talk with Echo for a second. So, and hey Nick P, how you doing, man? You sleep well, brother? Yeah, you have an awesome night, and thank you so much. I'm glad you're digging the show. And yeah, so sit tight, Echo. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this because again, I was exactly where you were at a year ago. I know exactly what you're going through, and it sucks, and it is, and in fact, yeah. Anyway, but we'll talk about it. So let me just kind of sum up what what I was trying to say there when I was that will close off this show, the actual Cars at Night portion of the show, and then we'll do a little bit of hanging out with everybody afterwards. So, now where was I? What the fuck was I talking about? Can someone, awesome, man. Right on, Nick. Right on, brother. Can someone, what was I talking about? Shit. Like, that's the thing is like, yeah, that's, so yeah. Talked about the monetizing thing, pulled it back beyond that, and was talking about the inspiration thing. Oh yeah, yes, okay. So so I was gonna talk about no. So I was gonna talk about I was saying me as a songwriter and me so I had no aptitude for songwriting, right? The thing is that like first off I was left-handed and I had a right-handed guitar, which slowed me way down. I didn't take guitar lessons, so basically I had friends show me open chords. I had a friend of mine explain to me a bar chord, but between the moment he showed it to me and me making it home, I'd forgotten how to play that bar chord, and so I was playing it wrong. And I played it wrong for a couple years. I didn't study music. I love music. I listened to a lot of music, but I didn't even, my ears were not even trained enough to really be able to parse the different parts of music. Like it just sounded like one sound to me. I couldn't hear, oh, there's the guitars and there's the piano line. And this is, oh, sounds like there's double guitars and there's this guitar's doing this thing. And that's like, the thing is the way I hear music right now is so dramatically different than it was back when I first started writing songs, But the thing is like, but every single time I sat down with a guitar, I had so much fun, it was, and the thing is like, and the work that I was putting in, it didn't feel like work. Like, I just put on a TV show and I just kind of sit there and play the chords back and forth. And I try to turn the two chords that I knew how to play. I try to turn them into a song just so I could have something. I couldn't play somebody else's song because I didn't know how to play. I could barely play guitar. But I wanted to sing songs. So I just wrote my own songs, and I knew they were terrible, but I didn't care because, I knew it was part of the learning process. Like I was just going to do it, So the thing is like, so, and that continued for years. I didn't start. So I think I picked up the guitar when I was 21 and I just dabbled with it. Like here and there, just on random occasions, but I was having, and it wasn't until Universal was bought by Seagram's, and I was given the option of staying or leaving. and I decided to leave. And so I got a decent severance package, and I got another job. Yeah, no, yeah, amen. That's exactly what Life on Mars said in chat right now is exactly the perspective. That's how I learned to play guitar now. If it takes me 10 years, so be it. Like, that's the thing. You don't need to master the thing that you love to do. You don't need like the thing is that, like, there's lots of room. I mean, there are lots of artists. Now, a lot of them were novelists, right? I mean, but there's lots of artists that kind of came to their sort of mastery of what they do late in life, Charles Bukowski left the fucking post office at 50 years old, The thing is that, like, if you find something you love to do, keep doing it. Find ways to squeeze it into the margins of your life. Just find ways to, like, have fun with it, but just keep doing it and always be doing it. And then if you find later on that it's no longer turning you on, it's totally fine to put it down and pick up something else. The thing is that, like, and as someone who did that in his life, I can tell you that it is equally, and I don't know, like maybe at some point in time I might find that I'm just done with songs. I might have said all I want to say. I don't think so. I think I found a great vehicle for telling the kind of stories I want to tell in the way I want to tell them. But maybe in another 10 years I might get tired of it, and then I'll go find something else. But the thing is like, but I'll treat it with the same kind of perspective as I do now. Like, I will go and actively look for things that turn me on, figure out what it is about them that I love, and then figure out ways in which I can take that, like, do I want to, and it might be that maybe I don't want to make that, maybe I'm done, maybe I'll reach a point where I'm done making stuff, and then maybe I'll become someone that goes and helps other people discover that, discover it, or, like, the thing is just like, but that's the thing is like, but for me, like, if you're not leading a life that fills you with joy, fills you with a sense of purpose, and has you getting up in the morning excited, then you need to spend at least a handful of hours every single week looking for that thing. Because I guarantee you, when you find that thing, it will be fucking mind-blowingly. You'll be like, it will be right. It's like finding religion. Back in the day, it used to be Jesus. No, that's the new Jesus. No, okay, I'm not saying that, but it really is. It will be transformative. It will be transformative. Hey, I need a Band-Aid. How you doing? Of course, I can't go one stream. I can't go one stream without saying something blasphemous. But yeah. So all right. So now let's go back to Echo Instinct. So all right. So that's going to be the end. That's going to be the end of Cars at Night. For this episode of Cars at Night. I hope you guys dug it. The thing is I'm certain it's going to become a lot more exciting. When there's actually a conversation happening between me and other people that like, I guarantee you the people that I've already booked for as guests are fucking mind blowing. They're awesome. And it will be a great way to discover other people's music. It'll be a great way to discover other people's books. It's going to be awesome. But but Echo Instinct. So are you comfortable talking about this right now? I just want to get her permission before we move on. How you doing, Anita? It's awesome to see you. And I don't know if you guys know, but Anita is making me a beanie. And oh shit, fuck, man. Here, let me do this right now. Okay, this is actually perfect. So I will measure that, Anita, and I will get it to you in just a second, because that was a perfect fit. Okay. So I have nothing but love for this person, but they don't love me anymore. I mean, I have no idea what to do with my life anymore. But I guess things will be okay. To be honest, I think I will move to South Africa and live in a hut and try to be a fisherman. Also, I'm going to have to emigrate because this all fell apart. Oh well. All right. So obviously, so the thing is, so breakups are fucking the absolute worst. And I was usually in my breakups, we get to a point in time in our relationship where both of us are, we just both know it's over, and so we have a conversation about it, and we decide mutually, we're gonna end this whole thing. So, hold on real quick. Awesome. That's awesome, Anita, and I certainly will. So the thing but I relatively recently, within the past 5 years, I had a breakup where I was the dumpy and I was very much in love. And it was, and without going into too many details, there was other mitigating factors, or not even mitigating, other factors that made it dramatically more pronounced. That took all of the woe and all of the. I mean, and the thing is, and that's the thing is, and this is the thing that drives me nuts, right? And maybe you identify with this, but because for me, it's like it really feels like my life is crumbling around me, right? Like the thing is like suddenly this person that's been in my life all this time, this person with whom I was kind of building all of my expectations of a future, this person with whom I was basically like putting together, like I was projecting not in weeks or months, I was projecting into years and decades. Like I was in love with this person. I could not imagine living a life without them. And so my entire path, my entire mental image of the future had them in it. And then for them to like extricate themselves from that was already exceptionally painful, right? That was as painful as you could possibly get. But then to also then have them, hey, Dungeon Healer, but then to have them to know that they were just kind of going about their day, like they were just living their life and doing all the things that I knew that maybe they might have feel some sadness or feel some, but the thing is but yeah, they were just pressing on and keep getting their life going, and that just I couldn't reconcile it. And the thing is and it took me, Echo, it took me about 2 years. In fact, I'm not even 100% over this person. The thing is like, just because like whenever I'm not good at unresolved things. I'm not good at like I like to like get to a point where we as two adults see the thing and agree and go, yeah, okay, yeah, no, it's time for us to move on. That chapter in our life is over, and I didn't get that. I didn't get that conversation. I didn't get to have that like, oh yeah, this is definitely over for the two of us. It was just over for her and not over for me. And it literally felt like I just shifted into a different universe. Like that. Yeah, I found myself again in the wrong universe where I'm supposed to be in love with this person. We're supposed to spend the rest of our lives together, And the thing is, and it fucking took a long, long time. But the thing is, for me to like kind of like get to the point where I can, where I can like be at peace with it, and it sucks, and it really does. It sucks. But the thing is but what I did is I surrounded myself with friends that I loved. Now, if you don't have, I mean, I also wrote a lot of songs about it. I mean, I documented absolutely everything in song. But if you don't have an outlet like that, the thing is that like there will be other things that you can do that allow you to kind of take ownership and kind of like the thing that you don't want to do. I don't really want to say what I feel because we happy stream, but yeah, no, and of course because it's so fresh, of course I totally get that. And the thing is like. Yeah, and I promise you, all of the darkest and most lugubrious and doleful, just the most woe-filled perspectives, like, and those stuck around with me. Sometimes I get to a point where I wouldn't feel overwhelmed. Hey, Lenina, hey, thank you so much. Wait, what's cheers? Unlock God. What's the unlocking gifts thing? And thank you so much, Lenina. And how are you? Good to see you. But so I get that. And the thing is that like like really truthfully, you need to surround yourself with friends. Like go out and fucking grouse and bitch and moan. And the thing is like go out. get drunk, but get drunk with friends. Don't get drunk by yourself. And the thing is, because there's two different ways you can deal with a breakup, right? One is a healthy way where basically you're grieving, and the other is an unhealthy way where what you're doing is you're just compressing. You're basically avoiding those feelings, and you're compressing them, and and they become an abscess. They become a deep seated in your heart and soul abscess, and that does kill. It will kill you. The thing is, because that's the thing that where suicide comes from, or substance abuse comes from. And so the thing is, so grieve in a healthy way. Go find friends if you need. Go find friends and just be with them. And the thing is, and it fucking sucks. I mean, there's nothing more horrible than being in love with someone and having them. I mean, and the only way I can say this is, you don't drink alone when you're seriously grieving Dungeon Healer, because the thing is because basically what you're doing is you're blocking out you're using it as a crutch to kind of basically block out what you're feeling, or you're perverting what you're feeling to make it a little bit more, because you're not really blocking it out, because when you're sad, you're still sad when you're drunk, but it allows you to just be sad and drunk and out of control, right? And the thing is but it's also, you're not actually dealing with the full brunt of it head on. The things that you're not it's an unhealthy way to grieve. You're basically just paying it. You're basically pushing it to the next day and the next day and the next day, and eventually it gets to a thing where it becomes this little ball of woe that is so deep seated that and it tried to kill me back in the day when I had my stroke, so I'm just saying, sad and I mean, the thing is sad and drunk is okay if you're with people that love you. And the thing is because sometimes particularly when it's brand new and it's hitting you at its hardest, you just want to you just need a respite. And I totally get that. But you just need a respite. But the thing is, you just need a respite with people that can watch out for you and that love you and that are reinforcing you with the idea that you are loved and you are lovable, when you're going particularly through that most pronounced period where you feel like you are unloved and you are unlovable. So Mike, I'm in a country I know nothing about, in a place in the world where I know nobody. But wait. So where are you? Where are you in Echo Instinct? And thank you, Justin. I mean, the thing is where are you? And how are you in a country where you know nothing about? And why not just move? Why not get out of there? Why not go home? Go home. It's the holidays. You have a perfect excuse, and you've got the money to do it now. Go home, or go where your friends are. Do you have a best friend from high school or college? Do you have people that you love? That's the thing, is go and lean on your people. Lean on your people. And damn it, lean on your people. And they better be there. And if they're not there, then they're not good people. The thing is this is why we have friends, and this is why we have family, and this is why we have community, because you should be able to lean on them when you're going through hard times. So don't be there and be miserable by yourself. Don't be alone. Go find them. Fucking book a flight right now. Where are you? What country? Where are you? What are you doing? Echo Instinct. Where in the world are you? You don't have anything. You're in Spain. Paper Cat's in Spain. Paper Cat, where do you live? do you have a no? So there you go. See, Paper Cat's in Spain. He can be a drinking buddy and a shoulder to cry on. I'm nearly 98.9% certain. Yeah, the thing is but no, I'm not joking. I'm Echo Instinct. I am in no way. Am I in any way, shape or form joking? Don't do this alone. The thing is it don't isolate. Go find friends. Go and so No, Paper Cat. We definitely have. Paper Cat has definitely hooked up with other people in this community, and they've all hung out, and there has not been one axe murder. So as far as we know, he's batting pretty damn well, you know. But yeah, Echo. Seriously. The thing is that like if you don't have any friends, if you don't have any friends where you're at in Spain, the thing is that like yeah. So Paper Cat lives in Spain. So you're probably a train ride or two away from each other. You could definitely go hang out, right? Um, yeah, or I mean, you've got the funds now. Hop on a plane, you know. If that's you know, like, if that doesn't make sense to you, you know, like, um, yeah, yeah. No axe murders is probably the best place best place to start. Um, but I know, I'm I'm not saying I know. I'm saying I know that you're saying that it's okay. And the thing is like all I'm telling you you're gonna feel isolated and you're gonna feel miserable. And the thing is that like, and it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And the thing is that like, and so definitely like it will become a lot easier for you to get through if you've got people around you, you know, good people, you know. I mean, fuck, you know, really truthfully, if you have to Echo, just fucking go out, go find a restaurant or go find a bar and just be around people, you know, go to a comedy show, you know, just be in a place that reminds you that life is happening and that you know, cause yeah, just, yeah. Be somewhere where there's, you know, I mean, fuck, if you don't want to even interact with people, go see a movie. Go see go see The Last Jedi, you know, go see The Last Jedi and go get a dinner and just keep yourself, yeah, well, you know, I mean, that's probably also a good thing to do too, right? I mean, the thing is that like, if I, when, I was, yeah, so yeah, you know, yeah, whenever I lose anybody I love, it fucking rocks my world, you know. I mean, I've had a couple breakups that were pretty significant. I've been with them for a long time, and our relationship got to the, you know, like got to the point where we both decided it was done for. Whether we actually had that conversation or not, you know, either by my actions or her actions, we basically said it was over. But we knew it was in the offing. We could see it in the distance. But and even then, I still cried. You know, the thing is like you know, if you know, it's love, man. It's fucking love. It sucks. It sucks when you lose love because it's the primary purpose for everything, right? Thing is it like there's love and fear. Those are the two root emotions. You know, everything else is just anger is just basically people processing fear. You know, which is why you should empathize people that hate, because empathize with people, or you should pity people with hate, because what they are is they just have, there's a real deep kernel of fear in there, and you know, and it's just been allowed to fester for too long. Hey, thank you, Vic. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Me too. Hey, and good to see you, Dr. Arby. Yeah, me too, Justin. I think I'm gonna try to go see it tomorrow morning at the earliest matinee. I don't know. I feel kind of bad. I don't want to abandon Sue. But there's not going to be another chance. I'm not going to get another chance to see it, and I want to see it before Night Attack, because I swear to God, Justin and Brian are going to talk about the movie in some fashion or another that's going to give a spoiler. And as of yet, right now, I've read nothing and seen nothing about the movie except for the fact that people like it, and the people don't like it, but the people like it. So I have to see it tomorrow, or I'll be fucked. So you know, so. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't think horny is I think horny is a biological imperative, right? You know, how you doing, Dr. Arby? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't think horny is an emotion. I think horny is. I mean, horny does have emotions tied into it, you know. But I think more horny is a biological imperative. Lenina, I'm having my yeah. That's the thing is like I can't do that. Like, the thing is like because I, you know, like. Because I will be away from the computer. Like sometimes I have to get away from the computer. I crank it up, you know. I'll be downstairs with it cranked, and I'll hear something and be like, ah, you know. Hey, Thunder Fury, how you doing, brother? Yeah, well, yeah, yes, yeah. That's, I mean, yeah, no. In fact, that's very funny because insecurity, and insecurity and fear of lack of love and all that stuff, all of that actually does end up adding some crazy levels of spice to different sort of like self-destructive, but yet at the same time sexy impulses. It's crazy, man. Fucking human brains. We our brains are fucking wired in the weirdest, craziest, most nonsensical ways ever. You know, and the way we sometimes can process. You know, I mean that's like foot fetishes and stuff like that. Like all that, a lot of that is just kind of like, you know, us internalizing sort of like really strange behavior, like, you know, like not strange behaviors, but like input as young kids, as high school kids, as early adults, even as mid-level adults, even as you know, people like we process all this stuff. Sometimes we don't get to say how we often don't get to say how it ends up, you know, coming out on the return receipt, you know. Uh, yeah, no, yeah, absolutely, Thunder Fury. No, and that really is it. And Echo Instinct. That's sometimes it just has to be the end, and so it is. Echo Instinct. You're saying that specifically regarding the relationship, yes? Because I don't want to. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn this light back here. Because yeah, I am. The thing is, all right. So I do have to say, guys. So because sometimes it has to be the end, and so it is. The thing is, so I as someone who definitely deals with depression, and who's definitely had suicidal thoughts throughout my life. Well, not throughout my life, but over the past 15, 20 years, I definitely have encountered like suicidal thoughts. The thing is, um, like that's no like there's no that's not something to fuck around with, and that's certainly not something to ever walk away from. So the thing is, so so if that's what you're implying, their Echo Instinct, the thing is that like yeah, there you go. So the thing is so there's, I mean, the thing is like, look, if seriously, Echo Instinct, if you are right now, if that is something if that's what you're implying, which it seems to be that you are, and it could be that you're saying that it has to end because it has to end because it's the relationship is ending, and that's a healthy attitude, because the thing is, like, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, the thing is that, like, you can't have a relationship without two people, you know. But the thing is but all right, oh, Vic, right on, brother. You be well, man, and I'll see you soon. But if Echo, if you're saying, hey, you know, your life has to end, the thing is that, like, then that is definitely the thing is that, like, there's an okay, I could definitely imagine a handful of scenarios where you definitely what's DW? I don't again, like I said, I don't speak acronyms. So what is DW? Do 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 Watusi? Do Watusi, Mike? Do you guys know how the Watusi goes? I don't know the Watusi. Um, but Echo, no. So the thing is so, but really truthfully, so this is what I'm saying. So, like, I could definitely imagine a handful of scenarios where, like, death would be preferable to life, right? So you're actively getting tortured, and there's a chance, and as far as you know, there's no likelihood that you'll ever be able to escape, and you know that they're going to kill you, and they're actively harming you, and you have an opportunity to kill yourself. Sure, perfect. You know, pretty much anything, any scenario other than that. The thing is that, like, it will get better. You know, it will get better. So the thing is that, like, uh, does anybody? Oh, don't worry. Oh, I see. Don't worry. So yeah. So the thing is that, like, no, but that's Echo. No, that's the thing is that that's ridiculous. The thing is that, like, look, you can't even you know, the thing is so if there's think about every other moment. Is this? I'm assuming this is the. Is this? I'm assuming this is the toughest emotional hurt you've taken in your life, which is this like a new threshold of low? Is this a new threshold of pain for you? And see you, Vic, man. Yeah, amen, Justin. Amen. Um, but the thing so the thing is that like the thing is that I don't think people realize the impact that they have on each other. Like, I mean, just this community, just this conversation, right? Like, the thing is that like, you know, I can tell you already right now, Echo Instinct. There's 29 people watching the stream right now, I think. So they at least according to my little Twitch thing. So I'm gonna assume that easily 60 or 70% of those people have been here for a long enough time to kind of get a sense that you're in emotional distress. And the thing is that like and even those that maybe don't actually know you, um the thing is that like like I've known you for only what, a few months, handful of months, 6 months. I think this is like, but the thing is that like, Echo Instinct, I love you. We all love. The thing is that like, look, I mean literally like look, I I don't know you nearly as well as I hope to over the coming months and coming years, right? The thing is that like, but I certainly like you are loved. Like the thing is that like like you got to get rid of the yeah. The thing is like I fucking love you with all my heart, and I see you're in distress, and that's why I derailed this show so that we could talk about this, because I want you to know that like you are not alone. Here I am. I mean, I am thousands of miles away, and you and I are hanging out, and we've got a whole bunch of people in this chat, and we're all sitting there and we're all talking. The thing is like, so it's not no. So the thing is like, so you can't think like that. And the thing is that like, and I definitely think that I definitely think that you should reach out to somebody. The thing is like it should be. The thing is and this is what I'm saying is that like it can't like, this is what this kind of conversation that we're having right now is lopsided, right? Because the thing is that because I'm here as a performer, kind of doing the thing is like it's not a healthy way to process the kind of stuff that you're going through right now. It's not a healthy way to have a real human interaction. Like the thing is like, right now all I'm saying are words that you're typing. I'm not hearing your voice. I'm not able to fully I'm not even able to fully empathize with the level of your grief. I'm not really able to talk about the details of I'm not able to talk about the detail, and I'm not certain. Do you want to air the details of kind of what went on and what's going on in your relationship? The thing is that like, but the thing is that, but these are the things that I think that either you either need to talk to about at some point in time. But the thing is that you need to. There definitely is a whole gigantic welling of intense emotion obviously happening in you if you're at this level of distress, and it needs to be vented. You need to let it out. You need to get rid of it. And yeah, Echo, seriously, don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The thing is, I mean, if you want to do a private Skype conversation after the show, like I'd totally be willing to hang out with you for as long as you wanted, as long as you needed. If Skype doesn't work for you, if you got some other streaming service, that's totally fine. That I can totally do that as well. The thing is that, but I definitely, the thing is, I can't be for you. I mean, the thing is, so hold on. So this is the thing, and this is and Echo, you have to hear me out with this, and you have to help me figure this out, right? Because this is a completely brand new thing for me. And this is also a completely brand new sort of medium and experience, right? And the thing is that like, Yeah, and that's and again, and I totally get that, Echo. And the thing is but it certainly doesn't have. And thank you, Valamogulus, right on. That's a great handle. But uh, that's that has nothing to do with you, right? You love with all your heart, and that's all a person can love. So what that means is the person that you loved didn't have the capacity to recognize how much love that you were giving them, and that means that they're broken, right? That means they're damaged. And the thing is and maybe really what this person might need is just this person might need to get a little distance and a little bit of reflection time so that this person can realize how much you love them, right? The thing is that's not unheard of. The thing is that you can't make and if you were to end things now, right? If you were to end things now and they came to that realization, like, shit, you know what? I do love Echo Instinct. I do love in I just didn't know it, or I didn't know, like, the thing is like sometimes, and of course, like, the way this is happening is a fucking, but the thing is like, so okay, I know there's a 30-second lag. But no, and you just said the person I love is perfect though, and we all know that that's not so, because no person's perfect, right? And the thing is that, like, and if, like, yeah, no person's perfect, and if you really feel that they're perfect, then the thing is that, like then Sue, all right, so Sue has been scratching. Come here, bud. Come here, dude. The thing is that, like, so yeah, there's come here, bud. Come here, Sue. The thing is I definitely get, they're perfect for you, and I definitely get that. But the thing, I definitely get that feeling of like the way that, like, but the thing is that, like, but that you're both human, like, you're both dealing with not just you and your relationship. You're dealing with every relationship you both of you have ever been in. You're dealing with you're dealing with your desire and need to be loved. You're dealing with his desire to need or her. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the gender is involved, but the thing is yeah, like, the thing is it like yeah, that's where like all the complicated, crazy nonsense that's rolling around in your head is also quite possibly and quite probably rolling around in his or her head, right? And so the thing is like, and so all, like, and it may not be the exact same thing, because you're the dumpy, and the thing is, and as someone that has been the dumpy, like, I definitely know how soul effacing, how life wrenching that can be. But the thing is that, like, yeah, you gotta, you know what, really, truthfully, Echo, you gotta reach out to somebody. You gotta call, like, if you want, let's just set up a Skype call and let's talk. But you gotta talk to someone, and you gotta like, just, the thing is that, like, it definitely sounds like you are in real serious distress. And the thing is that, like, I love you, sweetheart. You gotta call, you gotta reach out to somebody, and you gotta figure this out. Like, the thing is, like, yeah. Hey, bud. Hey, Sue. See, Sue needs some love from me as well. But yeah, the thing is like so, and this is what I was gonna say. So the thing is, like, yeah, I don't know if you don't want to do a Skype conversation, because it definitely doesn't seem like you've jumped on that thing. You definitely just need to reach out to somebody, right? Like you just call your mom, call your dad, call your brother or sister, call your best friend. Call a hotline, call the goddamn pizza joint. Get out and just get out amongst people. The thing is that, like, the thing is that, like, it's obvious that you being with us right now in this conversation isn't helping, right? And the thing is like, if that's the case, the thing is like, when we, like, yeah, not Valamogula. So don't, but the thing is it like, yeah, like, you just, yeah, go find a dog, Go find a cat, you know, go. Now is a great time to adopt an animal. Well, join her die TV. She's actually in she or here. I can't. I for some reason I got the impression, Echo, that you were a girl, that may be wrong. I think you said something a handful of streams ago that suggested that you were a girl, but maybe you're a guy. Maybe I've got that wrong. I apologize, but yeah, but Echo Instinct is in Spain, so. Oh, puppy. So, what do you think, Echo? I can't let. I mean, I can't let this go. I can't just sign off knowing that someone is in significant emotional distress and the thing is and so this is the thing though, right? So, and this is my like this is the thing with Twitch, right? Is it like these like I think of you guys. I think of most of you. I'm certain there are people here that I don't you know haven't made themselves known in the chat, and I don't really know. But I think of most of you as family, right? I think particularly because if my music resonates with you, particularly because of this, if my music resonates with you, then there's a good chance you're very much like me. There's that you are damaged and you are broken, and yet you still find joy and you still find laughter and you still find. But the thing is that there's a very narrow band of people that listen to my music and go, yeah, this is for me, you know. And so yeah, you know, and so I think of you as family, and I think of you as like you know, like you're my people, you know. And so I can't like and so the thing is like and so I and so it's hard for me to do the thing I should be doing as a performer and build a barrier between myself and because the thing is because this you know it is entirely possible for malign people, which I know is not Echo Instinct, but I'm just saying in the future it's entirely possible for other people to show up and hijack this show and hijack me in this kind of scenario. And the thing is that like and so Echo, like we got to figure out some sort of solution. We need to figure out some way to put people in your life that you can just fucking lose your shit to, you know? Like the thing is, and if you want that to be me, I will definitely do that. You know, if you want that to be somebody else, well then let's go find that person. You were going to adopt a puppy for the I was going to adopt a puppy for the and for the so. What's this? All right, that's another acronym. I don't know what the SO is, but yeah, you can't. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. Echo Instinct. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to. Significant other. Okay, thank you. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't speak acronyms, guys. So I was going to adopt a puppy for this significant other and deliver it to the laundry basket, and it can be like laundry. Do this for me. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So you know, it's yeah. So Echo. The thing is that like, so you. Yeah. That. It's obvious that you're a lover, and that you are a lover from the sense of like that you love hard. It's obvious that like that you spend a lot, because you've definitely talked about your significant other in this stream relatively like throughout the course of your time being here, and it was definitely obvious that you were very much in love with this person, and again so. And so I definitely know how fucking tough that must be, you know, and how tough it must be to be dealing with, you know. But yeah, that's what like the thing is that you need to I don't think that a Twitch chat is the right place to be getting. You know, the thing is in fact I don't even think even I can definitely be a shoulder to cry on. But the thing is, I don't even think I'm probably the right person to talk to. Like, I definitely think that there are probably people, they're probably very awesome and empathetic and amazing people that have dealt with people in your state and in that level of, in fact, you know what's crazy? Because the thing is that like, I didn't do this. I actually went and hung out with my friends, and I railed and I screamed and I cried and I freaked the fuck out. And it took me 2 years to actually get to a point where I could like maintain some sort of semblance of like, you know, of anything. And I had relationships during the course of that 2 years, and when they would end, I would go back to the pine, like the, you know, it was a fucking nightmarish kind of thing, you know. Oh no, hey, no, don't apologize, not at all, not at all. The thing is like, that's what I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying, like, guys, this is like, this whole thing is yeah, all of this, I mean, that's what I'm saying. All of this, so this whole thing, like where we're all of us here, but we're all not actually here, and we're just words, and we're all, but the thing is like, it's totally a new thing for me, you know? And it's definitely, and it's just, and it's something, no, don't you dare, Echo. No, don't you dare. And then you did not bug, and that's not, in no way, no, not at all. Yeah, in no way. The thing is, it's like all I'm saying is it's I don't know. I don't think anything can take your pain away right now. I think you could probably push the pain away a little while. You probably, you know, smoke some heroin, and that would put the pain away for a little while, but the thing is, like, it's going to come back. At some point in time, you're going to have to face up to it. I don't think anything can happen that will deal with the pain. That sucks, because I'm sorry that someone would hurt you in that way. But the thing is, but definitely just being, we're social creatures, right? We need human connection. And I don't know if this qualifies as the kind of human connection we need, right? The thing is I think maybe in lieu of anything else, it might work, but I don't. But the thing is like I just feel like, I mean, just reach out to. Just reach out to fucking Paper Cat. If you have no one else, if you don't have a mom, if you don't have a dad, if you don't have a best friend, if you don't have brothers or sisters, if you don't have anybody you can call, so what okay, so you say you know nobody, but what do you but how, like do you have no family? How does that work? And I know that's entirely possible. So hold on. So now we can unpack this, and this does make a little bit more sense, right? Because the thing is, so why are you in Spain? Yeah. So can we just talk about some of the, hey, Thrakal, how you doing, man? And Thrakal, we're having a conversation with Echo Instinct right now. It's pretty intense. Just letting you know, you should be able to catch up pretty quickly. So Echo, so here, are you able to call in via, are you willing to talk on the stream? If you're not, that's totally fine. But I think this would be a lot easier to have this conversation if I didn't have to wait for the lag and the typing and all that stuff. So if you are able to talk, I would love to have you call in on my Discord, and we can. So your mom died a year ago, and dad died when you were 1, and then you have no brothers or sisters, and no cousins that you know, which I totally like. Yeah. So yeah, man. Okay, so that's fucking, and which yeah, and that makes perfect sense. And then that makes perfect sense, because now your whole life, you moved to Spain to be with this person. Your whole life is built around them. Your whole life is entrenched in this relationship, and then all of a sudden it's fucking uprooted. What a fucking cock. All right, so I don't know about the gender thing. I thought you were female, but again, I've got no confirmation one way or the other, so I don't know. And then again, but I would have to do like a Skype conversation or something of that nature, Echo Instinct. But I could set up. Hold on, let me. The thing is like my phone number I've had successfully since 2006. And before I had it in 2006, I had a number that kept getting compromised over and over and over again because fans would hand it out to people. I know that's not you. I know that's not you. I'm just saying that I have to maintain a very strict rule of not giving away my phone number. But I can do it. I can do it just if you got Discord. I can do a Discord channel. I can send you a Google number if you want. If you want to do a Google number, which will connect directly to my cell phone. I just have to set it up real quick. But yeah, I'd be totally willing to do a phone conversation with my phone if you're interested. I'll just need a second to set it up. I can't also calling Skype is a little bit difficult, but yeah, the thing is but giving out my, okay. Yeah. All right. Give me 1 second. So here, all right. So, I'm going to get this set up and we're going to go, let me see. Yeah. All right. 1 second. Yeah, and that's awesome, Justin. Yeah, and the thing is that like I've just anyway. I don't want to get into it. I know I am in by no means in any way, shape, or form a celebrity in any way at all, ever at all. But the thing is but I've definitely already with the minor, minuscule, tiny little bit of. Yeah, I get that. I'm gonna give you a number that will connect you directly to my phone. Anyway, but all I'm saying is like I've already had like 3 or 4 instances where yeah, I don't want to get into details because anyway, people involved with that whole thing. I know it's kind of embarrassing, but people are involved with a handful of the things that kind of happened because people let slip information they weren't supposed to. They didn't think about it. They still show up in the stream. It ended up becoming a big brouhaha. And yeah, anyway, I don't want to, so give me 1 second and, I will give you a number that will connect to my phone in just a second. No, I'm going to give him or her, what is a phone number that you can call in just a second. Do you mind calling me, Echo? I can't call Spain without charging me a fucking. Hey Vic, I'll see you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Okay, hold on. So I'm setting this thing up right now. Because I totally agree. But if that's and we've made that suggestion a handful of times and it's not it hasn't been accepted, Elacara. So I get it. So hold on. Okay, great, awesome. So here you go. Wait, hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna send you a message. Or here you go. I'm sending you a private message right now. Echo. Instinct. 2. All right. Wait, what? All right, great. I just shot her a I just shot her or him. Again, I'm not 100% certain on the gender. So just call that number and it will directly connect to my cell. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go and wait for Echo's call. And you guys have an excellent evening, and then I will be back. So again, I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully, my voice will be in a little bit better shape than it is right now. I'm gonna keep drinking water, and hopefully it will get it'll get up to 100%. I love you guys, I really do, and Yeah, be well. Hug your family. Reach out to them. And I love you guys. And you guys be well. And oh yeah, shit, we should go raid somebody, shouldn't we? All right, who can we raid? I'm gonna have to let them know. I'm gonna have to let them know that when we roll in. Who can we raid that may not. Thank you, Anita. All right, so yeah, this is the number. Hold on. Hello. Hello. What was that? All right. I just got a very strange. I just got a very strange call that said nothing. It said to accept, press 1, to do send by voice something, voicemail something, and I just sent you. I just put you. I sent you the number in. I just sent it to you as a whisper. Echo Instinct. As a whisper. Here, let me. I'll send it to you as a message as well. Hold on. Sorry about that. Let me. I forget that there's messages as well. Where's messages? Here we go. I am Max. I am Max. What is there something about that I should be aware of? Is there some sort of like functionality that I need to do that I'm not aware of? I thought it just kind of showed up directly. Oh, they want me to pay for the call? Oh. I see. Oh, okay. Awesome. Cool. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Give me another call, Echo. I sorry about that. I only used Google Voice, like really, really early on. So give me another call. I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Sorry about that. Sue, hold on, bud. I'll take you outside in just a second. All right. I'm going to, yes. Sorry about that, Echo. Do you want to just give me another call? Sorry about that. And I'm going to go. So I'm going to go, guys. We're not going to raid anybody. I've got Sue kind of like literally pawing at the door and whining. He definitely sounds like he needs to go out. And I'm going to wait for Echo's call. Echo, do call me again. I'm so sorry. And I will see you all very soon. And thank you so much, Anita. Yeah, I'm going to go. I love you guys. I really do. And, via Google Hangouts. Okay, there we go. All right, love you guys. A bientôt. Hello? Hello?